All right, so let's talk about how to raise over $1 million for your tax lien and your tax deed investing. So I'm excited to crack into this live stream today because it's a very requested topic of like, hey, I really want to get going with tax liens and tax deeds, but I don't have a lot of money. Or maybe you don't want to use your own money for your tax lien and tax deed investing. So the nice thing about this business is there's so much opportunity right now to scoop up these properties. But the flip side of that coin is the fact of like, all right, how much money do you have to get started in this business, right? So I want to walk you through exactly what I do and what I've done to raise, millions of dollars for tax lien and tax deed investing. So let me start with kind of the biggest mistake people make when they want to go and find money for investing in tax liens. So here's how it goes. You go online, you see some guy's fancy free book that he gives away, and you read it and you're excited and you think to yourself, wow, this is really good, but maybe you only have like 10 or 20 grand set aside for investing, which with tax liens and deeds is plenty of money. However, the mistake people make is they then go and they try to explain it to people that they know. They say, man, I found this like really great investment opportunity for government foreclosed property. And, I'm excited about this. Let's go buy some property. Do you want to invest with me? Then the biggest mistake a person makes is the other person they're dealing with says, all right, well, tell me about it. Like, how does it work? Right? How does this investment work? And they say, well, like you can go and you can bid on these properties and you can buy them at like really good deals. And then here's where they fail and fail to lose or fail to raise money is the person that they're talking to starts asking them questions like, oh, interesting. So like, what's the difference between a lien or a deed? What happens if the tax lien doesn't redeem on this property? What happens if there's like a mortgage or a lien on the property that you buy? How does it work here in New Jersey? How does that work here in New York or wherever you live? And then all of a sudden you're put on the spot and you can't quite answer those questions. And then you look like a dumbass. So avoid that. The best thing you can do at first is to educate yourself on how this stuff works. You need to be sharp. You need to be able to answer all of their questions. Now, you have a couple roads in front of you when it comes to doing this. You can kick this off yourself. Maybe you have a few $100 or a few $1,000, and you can go and flip some property. Okay, you can buy some property, you can make some money, and then you can start to let your results speak for themselves and say, hey, there are 3,200 counties, there are millions of these liens coming up every single year. And then from there, you can maybe even bring somebody with you to an auction as well. So that is one path. But the cardinal and most important thing that you need to do if you're raising money is to understand this stuff inside and out so that you can be very, very sharp. One of the big questions that will come up is like, oh, if this is so good, then why isn't everybody doing it? Huh? Sounds too good to be true. And to be fair, when you're getting into this business, it will sound too good to be true. Like I remember when I got started, it was like 20 years ago. I bought a $5,000 program. I had VHS tapes. And I was in my parents' basement, just like, holy crap, I need to go through this information as fast as possible because when the rest of the world finds out about it, there's going to be nothing left for me. Now, that's not exactly true. However, you should have a sense of urgency when it comes to this business because, they say the best time to plant a tree was today or 20 years ago. So it's time to plant that tree. And, the other thing that happens as well, the internet is infinitely wide and very shallow, right? It's obviously great that you're watching these videos, things like that. Sorry, I got a comment coming in here. Let's see. Got duped by the traveling real estate guru. Okay, we'll come into questions. If you have some questions, put them in the comments, and then I'll be happy to dive into them here. But just kind of coming back to the topic here, I lost my train of thought. If it's too good to be true, why isn't everybody doing it? So most people won't put in the long-term effort to make this work, right? Now, there's this strange concept with real estate investing where, and it's probably due to the internet, where people just don't have the stay power. You know what I mean? They come into it, and you look at any other business, or you want to become a doctor or a lawyer. It's completely acceptable to go to school and have to put in years before you can start making a couple $100,000 a year. But when it comes to real estate, it's people are like, oh man, I read your book. And then I went to an auction and I didn't get anything, and then, oh, this stuff doesn't work. Oh, I took this guy's seminar, it was $1,000 and it didn't work. And then they tried to sell me more seminars. So the fact of the matter is, you may go to your first auction, you may get 5 property, or you may go to 5 auctions. And from there, you could get 5 properties at one auction. So it just depends. You just have to stick with this stuff. And that's kind of the hardest thing these days in the world of the internet. Just people get shiny object syndrome. So, if you really want to get millions of dollars for investing into this tax lien and deed business, know it hands down. Dedicate time every single day to learning the practice so that you can answer questions super quickly. You know what I mean? Like, what is a tax lien? How's it work? So you'd be like, hey, in a tax lien state, you can earn 18 to 36%. Generally, it's paid, it accrues every single year. And then the person might say, well, like, what happens if they don't pay, what happens if they don't pay my taxes back, And you say, actually, the reason tax liens are safe and secure is because it's backed by the real estate, If the homeowner doesn't pay, that's when you can get these massive home runs on these properties because you foreclose and you take the property, And then they could say like, what happens, say, in this tax deed state if there's a mortgage on the property? And then you can quickly explain, well, in a deed state, the mortgage gets wiped out because the tax lien is always the priority lien. So when the government forecloses, or when the tax lien forecloses, it wipes out everything above them. So you need to be sharp with this stuff. And what you'll find is that when you're sharp with being able to explain tax liens and deeds, people will want to line up and start to give you money, especially even if you can go and get some results as well. Now, I see we got a few people joining the stream. Thanks for being here. Much appreciated. Most people watching aren't subscribed. Do me a favor. Go subscribe. Hit the notification bell. We're putting out a lot of content. Give away the free book on tax liens. If anybody wants a free 4-step strategy, there's a link below in the description. You can book a call with us. Either myself or my senior director will literally build you a 4-step plan for investing. Now, let's see here. Someone has a question. They're saying, got duped by traveling real estate guru, had enough money to actually invest in properties. What convinced to give the guru that didn't even provide real world assistance or mentorship? Hey man, sorry about that. That's man, there's so many people that have been screwed. Like, I've been screwed out of, tens of thousands of dollars on crappy mentorships and things. And it's a shame. It's a shame that it happens. There is enough information online to go and take some action. But I would say the big thing, like providing somebody who actually has done this stuff, is to be able to save you from making mistakes. So I'll give you a perfect example here. So we had one of our, so obviously, I do coaching and mentoring, but I do give away like the books and the trainings. And I really try to give away more information for free than most people charge for. But coming back to your question and comment, so we had a guy actually in one of our training programs, and he went through, he bought some property, it was awesome, but he had a friend who didn't want to, like, oh yeah, the training is bogus, blah blah blah. So this guy didn't want to spend money, so he went to, I think it was a Texas tax sale, and there was, I think, a $300,000 property. He spent $100,000 on the property. And he totally screwed up, because in Texas, what happens is you'll have an auction and there'll be like several different auctions going at the same time. And what happens is the homeowner associations will also auction off their taxes and their tax liens at the sale. So this guy went and thought he was buying a deed, but he bought basically the tax sale on the homeowner association. So on a $300,000 house, he went and he just literally bought a lien for 100 grand that didn't wipe out the mortgage. So now he's 100 grand out of debt, and there's still a property with this big mortgage in place. So that's why, it can really help to get proper help. And, for yourself, I'm sorry you went through that experience. There are a lot of bad actors out there on the internet these days, but look for somebody who's credible. I've been in this space for a long time. We got hundreds of videos here, good reviews, things like that. So wrapping it up, coming back here, if you want to raise, $1 million for this business, step 1, find an auction. Step 2, get the list. Step 3, get familiar with the rules of the county that you're in, so that you can answer questions. And then from there, just start doing some simple networking. Start with like friends and family. Those are the easiest, as long as you have a good relationship with your friends and family, that's a great place to start. And then from there, obviously get the free information that I have, the book, watch some videos, make an action plan, write it down, be specific. So that way you can go and you can say, hey, there's this auction coming up. There's these properties, at these tax sales, they can go for up to 90% below market value. We can go in, we can be partnerships. And the way you can structure the deals is basically, obviously that you could do like a promissory note. You could open an LLC together. You could bring them in as like an equity share on the property or have both your names on title. So there's several ways to structure the deals. And basically from there, once you've done 1 or 2 deals, kind of the gates will open up and people will want to just invest with you, which is pretty cool. So just wanted to take some time, give you guys a basic structure. We'll be going more into this stuff as we go here within the Tax Lien and Deed world, because it really is a really great time to be able to be in this business. Like I mentioned before, there's the perfect storm of the economy right now. Inflation squeezing people. They want to get out of their properties. And then there's also an inventory shortage. Like we do this stuff nationwide. And, the deals that are coming in, there's so many deals coming in and also such a great demand. So it really is a perfect time. So I want to encourage everybody here, get started. It's really easy to, I'll say this in contrast, it's really easy to just always be consuming information, which you should, but, you need to be taking action as well. So find it, whether it's, going out to sales, investing in property. And for anybody here right now that's watching, thanks a lot. We're trying to get a lot more great content out. And if you want myself to build you a custom 4-step tax lien indeed investing strategy, there's a link below here, just right to my calendar. Go ahead, you can book on that. Bottom line, we're going to give you our 4-step strategy to smoking the competition. And then from there, maybe if it's a fit to work together, we can chat about that as well. But at the end of the day, you'll just walk away with a very powerful session on that. So thanks a lot, everybody. Type some questions underneath the videos. Be happy to go live and make some more content. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.